Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So about 2 months back, right, like 2 months plus, I released the free-to-play endgame account showcase in February. I think the video was very well received because I posted the video quite a while back, even before the game went global, right? And I think there were a lot of views, and from then I think there's quite a few people left and right asking me to do an update for this account. So here I am showcasing the free-to-play endgame account that I showcased about 2 months back. And I'm gonna explain the side stories, how I got here, how many months it took, and then how it looks like in this server and what are the rewards I'm getting. So before I begin, I'll say this server sort of emulates like the slightly more competitive side of things, because I started out later on this server. This is actually PTR 1. My main account is on PTR 2, so I started late on this one. So comparing to all the existing players in this server, I was starting off with lesser resources. So this is pretty much like a free-to-play account versus a spender's account, because the spenders basically spend more to get resources. So this account emulates that because I'm playing from behind. So it's more competitive, right? So the rewards, the rankings, as well as all the other stuff that I'm getting is, I'll say, like emulates that of a more competitive environment. Okay, so this is, I'll say, more realistic because I have another free-to-play account. The account is more highly ranked in terms of ranking. Like I'm either in the top 10s, top 20s, which gives me more rewards. And I think there will be a lot of free-to-play players commenting in the comment section. It's like, no, my server has a lot of spenders. So yes, I agree. Like depending on how competitive your server is, your rewards, your ranking, even though you do the same damage, could be really different. Because even if you could do 22 million, right, and you could be easily a top 10 in one server, if you go into another server with a bunch of other whales who is easily able to get Paragon, your 22 million could be like only just a top 100 in a more competitive server. So that's just a caveat that I want to point out. Okay, so this account is called Very Smelly Belly. I like the name a lot because it rhymes and it's very catchy. So Very Smelly Belly. 24 million right now, currently on PTR 1. In terms of the story progression, I basically didn't bother to do this account, or rather I just didn't have the time. Because just a little bit of backstory is that the map for the story mode actually got revamped massively towards the end of PDR, right? Which is very, like, I'll say like just a few weeks or even 1 or 2 months before global release. So the story and the map looked, I'll say, like kind of different compared to what it is now. And the thing is, right now, right, for this account, I'm pretty much done with everything, right, that is needed to play the game modes. So I just don't have the time to clear the map once again because number one, I have other accounts, and number two, global came and I started to make contents, and then I just don't have the time to do it. So this is the current state. In the future, if I do have time to clear all these once again, I might, depending on whether or not I want to do it. But this is the map progression. So if I wanted to do it, I could definitely clear it really fast, really easily. Because right now my unit account, my units are looking like this. So it's currently at level 300 plus. So I could easily clear through the contents because the contents are all below 240. Okay, so that's for the progression side of things. And why is it called an endgame account? The endgame account is basically an account that is pretty much done with everything. So I'm able to play Dream Realm, Honor Duel, Arena, Battle Drill, Arcane Labyrinth, Legend Trial fully completed. So after Legend Trial was done, right, there wasn't much that you needed to do in the game until recently they released the Trial of Abyss. So Trial of Abyss is a brand new game mode which is to cater to the endgame players, right? The players that they are done with the game and they are done all the way until the final chapters. So it's a relatively new game mode. And then yeah, basically for endgame account, it's just everything done, story done, and you're just spamming your resources to upgrade your characters so that you're able to compete with other people. So this is why, or this is one reason why I don't, I'll say, like encourage people to spam push their contents, because yeah, maybe you are done with AFK challenges faster, but once you are done with the AFK challenges as well as the story, other than Trial of Abyss as well as your daily competitive elements, there won't be much for you to do. So if you're somebody who seeks out to have a lot of things to do, I will encourage you guys to push through so quickly. But then again, being fast is also a thing which makes people happy as well. So just do whatever makes you happy. Okay, so that's for the end game side of things. Why is this account the end game? Okay, so for my Dream Realm ranking right now, I'll say like I'm above the top 100. So you guys can see the ranking over here. So Necro Dracon I'm 79, Skyclops I'm 59, King Croaker 61, and Snow Tomper 62. So like I mentioned, this server is still highly competitive in a sense. There's still enough high ranking player for the rankings and stuff that I'm not in the top 50 nor in the top 20. So personally, I think for most free-to-play accounts in a server where there's sufficient spenders and active players, aiming for at least a top 100 rank, right, is quite important. I'm going to shift my profile over here. So aiming for top 100 rank will be something which you guys should at least aim for because of the temporal essence. Okay, so this is to ensure that at least you have the ability to upgrade your EX weapons of your units as long as you're actively playing the game. Okay, so some people actually ask me whether or not they should switch servers, whether or not they should migrate to other servers. I'll say at the very least, you kind of want to be ranked top 100 consistently for your Dream Realm ranking, because temporal essence is what matters moving forward, right? It's a very important resource, right? It's something that you use to make your characters even more powerful beyond EX5. So yes, you can buy the blue essence, the title essence from the shop, so you're not so worried about it, but you cannot buy the temporal essence from the shop, the Emperor shop yet, right? So the only two ways for you to get temporal essence is from Dream Realm as well as your guild chest. So guild chest is a weekly thing, so it takes quite a while to build up. That's why you need a consistent source from the Dream Realm side. So that's for the Dream Realm top 100 at least, right? Even if you're free to play, if you can. So that's something which I will advise the free to play players that are struggling in terms of ranking. So next one, we talked about our Honor Duel. So for Honor Duel, I really can't be bothered because like number one, I played a lot of Honor Duel, right? And number two, I don't actually think the ranking matters just for ego purposes. So I don't bother climbing too much. It's not that I don't know how to play or I'm like dumb, I cannot win, so I'm rage quitting. It's just that I think this game mode is quite time consuming, number one. Number two, the rewards that it gets you beyond the 15 win is just for your own ego purposes. So if you really enjoy the game mode, yes, go ahead and spam play the game mode. But if you're somebody who values your time to effort ratio, then I think 15 victory per week is more than enough. The ranking doesn't really matter too much. Next one, we talk about the arena ranking. So arena, same thing. I would say I'm pretty consistent in terms of the ranking. Still top 100. I'm pretty much top 100 across the board. Like, to me, if the account is not in top 100, I think there's no point in playing, because I mean, at least for Dream Realm, right? For arena's case, it could be way more competitive, because for arena, the meta changes depending on like how competitive the server is. There are certain metas that are already full Iron Carolina combo. Give me a moment, yeah. So there are a certain few servers I know right now on global where I think the players on top are already doing like a full Hippogene / Celestial team. So I would say those are like insanely competitive servers with a lot of mega spenders, right? So that kind of server will be a little bit more challenging for the free-to-play players. But then again, I think arena is not just about like stats, right? So sometimes if you have a really solid strategy and you don't get attacked a lot, you might be able to achieve a decent rank depending on where you are. So it's quite subjective. I'm not gonna comment like, oh, you're gonna get this very easily if you use my Iron Ardent combo, but depending on like your strategy, depending on how often you get attacked or gang on, your positions as well as your rewards that you get from arena could vary based on your personal circumstances. So that's all I gotta say for arena. All right. For Battle Drill, I am fortunate enough to be in one of the top guilds. So usually I'll be able to clear through the boss stage, as you guys can see. So get the 500 gems, that I just do my part to clear the reputation treasure and just spam out my energy to get my chest of valor. I think quite doable. Like, you can just let Battle Drill run on auto in the background while you go read stuff, right? Or while you are doing something else. So this game mode doesn't require you to, you know, always manually click the teams, which is something I appreciate. So once you are in a rhythm, right, clearing stamina, clearing boss, get the free rewards, you are done. So this is for the reward side. Okay, so this is for Battle Drill. For Labyrinth, when there's no rewards, I don't bother doing Labyrinth, because like number one, like I mentioned, I don't really care about the rankings, right? Number two, yes, it does benefit the guild in terms of the glory points, but because the activeness of the server is not as high as like the newer global servers, so like there's also not a lot of people attempting to get high ranks for Arcane Labyrinth anyway. So that's why that's for Arcane Labyrinth. So Legend Trial fully done. This is the end game state. So you finish Legend Trial, you finish your story, right? You are playing every other game mode, and then you are doing Trial of Abyss. So that's the end game. And then in terms of the unit collection, this is how it looks like. So resonance level 334. So I don't think you guys need to be too concerned with the resonance level, because resonance level is gated by this arcane or hero essence, as you guys can see. So I'm gonna spam it for you guys. So you get here, you gotta convert. So you guys can see we need a lot of hero essence over here. Like I think it's sub 30k plus per level moving forward. So 30k of arcane essence is a crazy amount. Even though you can convert the manos to essence with this ratio, I think they increased this number here. I think, yeah, they changed out this ratio. So this, just treat this as a gauge, because they might change these values anytime. So not gonna comment too much, but this is how it looks like. So this is the manual to hero essence conversion. So in the later stages, all your AFK challenges resources, right, all these goodies, right, you'll be basically using it on the resonance synergy, because the EXP tome, the books, as well as the essence, you just dump them into the resonance synergy. So resonance synergy only provides you stats up to level 300. So once you are above 300, the additional levels will just give you gems or diamonds, as you guys can see over here. So for this resonance synergy, right, the only additional benefit that you have, right, beyond 300 is that your characters will have a lesser level deficit. What do I mean by that? So there is this stats known as the proficiency stats. So proficiency stat is when the character's proficiency is lower than the enemy's level. The effect of some of your skills are weakened. So usually your levels will be below the enemies if you are actively pushing through contents, because you're always challenging tougher contents and the enemies are stronger by level. So in the Trial of Abyss right now, a lot of times you are super under leveled in the higher stages for my main account. So this is what I call it, the proficiency deficit, because your levels are lower. So these additional levels beyond 300 is to sort of close up the gap for the deficiency. So that's for resonance synergy. Don't need to worry too much. The longer you play, eventually you'll be able to get here, and as you collect more and more hero essence from all the daily AFK rewards, you will get here also. So don't worry too much about that. Next, let's talk about the units that I have. So I've seen a few comments of people talking about free-to-play players not being able to reach Paragon. I kind of disagree with that, because right now, I think for the global side, I feel that they're actually quite generous in terms of giving free resources. Namely, there's a lot of quality of life improvements in the map, which gives you a lot of summons from your AFK challenges, from the map itself, which I haven't cleared on this account, as well as from all the codes that they are distributing to the players. So eventually, I guess they're gonna release more, so that, you know, more people can get summons and then eventually translate those summons into better quality units. But for this account, which is around 6 months old, I think 6 months old, I haven't been really actively super active on this account, but I have about 9 Supreme Plus unit. I think if I was a little bit lucky, Smokey and Murky will be the 10th one. So there's a few that I'll say is close to Supreme Plus. So Damien, right? Kruger, right? Seth. So Seth, I took a break because I actually decided to switch over to Kruger so that I can do better for my dream round. So Parisa is also really close. So in that case, right now it's about 9. So soon to be, I'll say 14, 15, because I still have summons left in terms of the invite letters. So how long did this take? About 6 months plus, right? I think for the free-to-play player on global server, depending on your ranking, because your dream round fragment is also an important resource to get the shards, you will probably take 6 to 8 months to reach Paragon, or maybe even a year, depending on how much freebies you will get along the way, because we're getting more events on the global side, and the developers also promise to deliver more contents, which will give more resources as well. So moving forward, I think the rate will be different for people. But for this account, when I first started, I wanted to build it differently, because for my main account, I built towards the Mauler / Graveborn side. So your CCR Mauler team, that team actually existed. So before Coco, it was Rowan in Coco's place. So that was my main account, right? This is the second account, so I decided to go towards the Wildest faction with OD as my carry. Okay, so the reason is because as I was playing through this account, right, you guys can see my CCL being Supreme Plus, but like if you guys have seen my MTech video, if you guys have seen multiple CCL videos, CCL actually got nerfed in PTR. So that was during the period where I was using CCL and she was damn OP, and then suddenly one day she just got nerfed. So unfortunately, yes, we got her to Supreme Plus and we can't use her, but this is just to show you guys that yeah, I did try to use her, and in fact I did push her to a really high rank so that I can tell my free-to-play players to not invest in her, because if I had invest in other units that could do stuff better, I think my rankings for the other game modes could be better, because you just have limited resources. Like I mentioned, it's all about resources. So using your resources on the right unit in the long run is more important than putting resources in a unit that just push contents really fast. So that is the end game stuff. So OD, right, one of my favorite unit, 5-star EX20, okay, level 325, a Supreme Plus. Rowan, right, we have Danny, we have Herwin, we have Scarlita. Okay, so Scarlita is EX15. So I recently upgraded her to EX15 because Scarlita is this unit which can just win you game in arena. So I like the kind of feeling where I win matches which I'm not supposed to win. So I really enjoy using her a lot in arena. And then for the game modes in the later parts of the game in Trial of Abyss, Scarlita is going to be really, really important according to some of my friends who cleared through the game mode. So investing in her is definitely a good choice. And because when I was choosing a Celestial Shares Hypogean unit to invest in, I chose her. So basically whatever resources, like I mentioned, as a free-to-play account, you have very limited resources. Whatever resources that I could have been using for Reina, I just use it on her for this account. So that's why I don't have Reina here. As you guys can see, I don't have Reina over here. But I do intend to get out Reina next, because I already got her to Supreme Plus and I already got her to EX15. So that will be where I'll keep her for a while, because I'm not unlocking Paragon anytime soon, as you guys can see. So yeah, right now I would say in terms of this account status, I think I'm fine with where I am. I would be using this account more for testing, more for contents moving forward, because I'm no longer as competitive on this account with all the other things that I have to do, such as contents, right, for the channel, as well as all my other accounts that I'm currently running. So I'll probably use this more for contents like pulling, like trying out units like our dear Floribel over here. So I don't have her at a really high rank, but I do have her at legendary, which is able to show me how she can actually function, and from there do my unit analysis. So I guess for my free-to-play accounts which are less competitive, I'll use it more so for this sort of testing stuff, more so for pullings, more so for future content. So that's for the account update. Okay, so this account is no longer that competitive because yeah, like there's just too many things to do and you just don't have time for all the accounts. But I'll still be running this account because on a day-to-day basis, the daily quest quite easy to do, right? Your guild quest is also quite easy to do, right? So you get all these weekly quests done pretty easily as long as you're logging in and doing dailies, because in the end game, dailies only take like 1 or 2 minutes, honestly speaking, right? If you don't factor in all the min-maxing, don't factor in all the try-harding, it's actually a pretty speedy process. So I can easily manage it in this kind of fashion. So that's why I say that I'm not competitive, because I just log in and do what I need to do, and then I go back to other accounts. So that's it for this account review, right? Hopefully you guys have a clearer picture of how a free-to-play endgame account will look like. I'm pretty sure you guys will probably do better than me, because this account was also playing blind, because it's one of my earlier accounts where I was still testing things out, right? This is also one of the accounts where I invested in CCL. So I do have another free-to-play account in another server that is totally CCL-less. So if you guys want to see the free-to-play endgame account showcase for that account, do let me know down in the comment section below. So as usual, if there's a lot of people asking me to do it, if there's a lot of people that's interested in that account showcase, I will also do it for you guys. So thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys again in my next video later. Bye guys.